Good evening, folks. This is Rass, and show you real quick what K40 requires. 45 billion food, 55 billion lumber, 55 billion stone, 61, near 62 billion, might as well say ore. That's a hell of a lot. So right now we've got level 39 Academy upgrading, level 39 walls upgrading, military academy research going. Anyway, the main thing I want to show you here is, if you're asking me how I know all this stuff, well, I basically went through the whole process you're going through right now. Starting out, not knowing much, and listening to people who sound like they know their stuff, getting so far, hitting the wall. So, I wanted to share with you a conversation with the man we call Master Word. And I'm going to show you why we listen to Master Word. So we're going to go up to K44 Hitson. This is a 26 billion power keep against a 3 billion power keep. That top line right there, the lost power, is the line you want to pay attention to. That's what gives up points in SVS or Battlefield. So you have Word loses 117 million power. The enemy loses 581 million power. Down there at the bottom you see reinforcements, lost power 51.2 million. That adds up to less than 200 million. They beat this dude by 381 million. Now look at this. Look right there in the middle by the range troop. That attack buff was 4,001 against Word. Now look down here at the range troop. Word's attack debuff is 1,166% at the time this hit took place. He's like 1,200 something now. Okay. So, you defend against an attack like that and win, that's a big deal. Now, of course, he had reinforcements. Okay, so something you do is you build a big embassy to defend against this stuff. Let's take a look at... Now, you'll notice Word does not have a million anything in his high tier. Look, by his mounted troops, 100,000 of them went to the hospital. He ghosted all but 100,000 of them to leave that layer there. And now he's got 1.5 million ground, but T13s don't give up as much points as T14 do. Same thing with the T12 layer. He's got about 1 million of them. Now, let me just go ahead and skip down and show you one of the reasons why this works so well. He's got 30 plus million T2 mounted troops and 893 million T1 mounted troops. Of course, he's got all flat refines on his Queen Boudica and all his specialties, everything else done on these generals. Now let's look what the attacker sent. Level 45 premium generals. T-15, range, ground, mounted, and siege. If you've ever been hit by T-15 before, you were probably zeroed. Bottom line, end of story. Well, not this time. Word defended against this. Now, later on in the game, you'll know how big of a deal this is. Some of you already do. That's a lot of points Word picked up, killing up all them T-14s and T-15s. This was just a big ego dude that hit with that 4,000 buff and didn't scout. And he was probably shocked when Word defended against him. Now here's a K-43. That was in a battlefield. Now, oh, okay. This was a rally that nearly zeroed Word. 1 point, okay, it was about even. 2,900 buff. How many players were on that rally? All T-14. Oh, yeah, there was 9 players in that rally, and look at their marches. Yeah, okay. It's layered, put together right, heavy on the T-12s. Yeah, and of course, they were able to take a chunk out of this down here. But that was that was a long time ago. That was before he built. Okay, let's take a look at the buffs, because that's what we do. Range debuff 1086. Yeah, he wasn't up where he is now. Let's look at something more recent. You're already seeing that. There we go. 42.5 billion power hits him with a 4002 range buff. Solo hit, no reinforcements, and he doesn't get zeroed. But that was another rally. Word won it. Let's go down to this one. This is a siege attack that he wins against. This is more recent. 1170 range debuff. Now notice the in-city siege machine attack buff that Word's got. 1700 in-city attack. Look up there at the ground troop. 1500 ground HP. Those in-city buffs are... It's hard to achieve that at a K-39, and he's got it. So usually you do splat the opponent's attack when they send siege after you, but you lose. And yeah. Anyway, so here's what he tells me. There's the conversation. I'm going to read it along with you. I took screenshots of stuff. Talked about how they gave him points by sending the wrong troops. He's from Indonesia, so the translation isn't the best. And more reports, but then he's asking me to help with other people because everybody's got questions for him. Be the one guy that really knows their shit, and all of a sudden everybody's coming to you for answers. This is what we can do with someone's wall general and such. So here is one of the things he told me to work on. Here's my sub-city generals. This is a premium general for purchase. We ascended him to. For those that don't know what he does, reduces his enemy range troop attack by 35%. First ascension reduces enemy range attack 10%. Second ascension reduces enemy range and siege machine defense 15%. So it's range debuff general. And every ascension he does that. He has this, which reduces enemy troop attack. That'll be the next specialty I'll work on. Put all his gear to Parthian. You take a look at it, that 6/6 enemy troop attack debuff, minus 18%. That's a good thing to have. And all the Parthian debuffs are only like 3 points higher than the Aki. So it's some debuff. We got the Chiron on him with a debuff. And we've got this Baldwin with all Parthian gear. We got that second specialty, that snipe, enemy troop attack minus 10. We put that up. And then his ascensions reduces enemy range troop attack by 30%. Reduces enemy siege machine attack 20%. This is my favorite sub-general here. Enemy range troop and siege machine attack minus 5. And HP minus 10. It's more range debuff. And of course the axe. Enemy range troop HP minus 48. Leg armor. Enemy range troop defense minus 42. The ring. Enemy range troop attack minus 48. Nine-tailed fox is going to come off of him because that doesn't debuff. Did the same thing with him. Enemy troop HP minus 10 covers all of them. Enemy range troop attack minus 30. And sabotage minus 1. That's enemy troop defense. It'll cover all enemies. Lord of Lava is going to come off of them. That don't debuff nothing. And with him, I've got the 2 Augustus pieces. Enemy troop attack minus 10. And this one debuffs range, attack, defense, and HP. Those are good pieces for your sub-gens. And of course, he reduces enemy range troop and siege machine attack by 15%. Got a beast on him that reduces, and just go on down the line of what these do. I've got 3 Baldwins with 1 star. And another one that's got snipe at 6%. Ain't put Parthian on him yet. Got to improve all that. Let me show you why. All these barbarians had reinforcements. And this is my wife's K39, and this K41 hit us, and we lost by over 2-1. There's a 2700 buff that hit us, and you see my defensive buffs, my wife's defensive buffs. Siege attack is up there, ground HP is up there, all the rest of them, they're struggling. So you really only got 2 layers doing the fighting. Look down there at the range troop attack debuff, 989%. That needs to get up there too. So we did the improvements on the sub-city generals. Naturally, he wanted to see that. That's what the conversation was all about. I had reinforcements. That there's my K36. sent the ground troops in against a range attack. Supposed to be real good. And that top T-14 ground troop layer held up good, but the siege was ghosted and the mounted was in there because we were expecting a siege attack, so we did a bait and switch go wrong. And you'll see the T-13 ground troop layer held. If it had the horses out of there and had the siege in there, probably would have stood up better. But of course it gets us counseling by old Pai Mei. So you'll notice this Thebes Dragon here, upgraded the talents on it that refines your ground troop HP and siege machine attack. It's on the wall. You'll notice the in-city siege machine attack, in-city ground troop HP. It's up pretty high. That needs to come up higher. And then this one that we're working on, you'll notice down at the bottom says next level increases ground troop HP by 20%, join an alliance war, and increases ground troops defense by 42% when defending. Just all the things that you can do to up those stats. And it's a lot of work, but here I am with, my wife's got the highest keep level that we have in the alliance that's going to be watching this. And then here's another thing. All the sub-cities are Japanese. Don't do that. You'd only be dealing with like 4,000 days to complete them walls instead of 6. Japanese has attack buff, but not construction buff. So we've made a lot of mistakes too. But just got prior experience and got proven old pros telling us what to do. That's it. We hand that down to you. Hope that helps, and y'all have a good one.